I forgot to put on my countdown, and I feel like people will be sad if they don't hear the countdown. So I got to cue this up. Bear with me here. By the way, welcome in Record-ology Live, our fireside chats. While we're waiting for folks to join, I am going to. Do I even have it over here? Oh, come on. Is it over? Come on. Come on. I need this. I am not prepared. Hold on a second. I need to get this CD. Yes. Okay. I've been doing this as like a. I've been doing it. I did this once, and I think it makes people uncomfortable, which I enjoy. So I'm going to do it again today. It's from the soundtrack, the Road to Hong Kong. I think it's number 9. Okay, so I'll join you back after this. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, as we present the countdown. Hello, Brett. Welcome in. Doing our countdown. We'll be right with you. Okay, where's the sound? Why am I not hearing anything? Okay, we got the rack. Hold on a second. This is really coming off really professional. So, what the heck? Shouldn't it be? First of all, why am I not hearing it? Oh, I forgot to turn the DAC on. That would probably be part of it. Okay, stand by for the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, welcome into Record-ology Live, aka like fading it off manually. It's like a one-man show here. Welcome into our fireside chat. And I don't know why I like doing that. I get a kick out of that. So welcome in. I hope you guys are having fun. My mom, when she first heard that, she's like, please don't let my mom hear that for one thing. But she's like, is that your voice? I'm like, what? And I think other people thought that as well. They're like, what? WTF? What is that? It's a female voice. Thank you very much. Also, my dad thought it was me. He's like, son, you could do that voice. And I'm like, thanks, I think. I don't know how I feel like that. I just get a kick out of it. It's if you haven't seen Road to Hong Kong, they go to space, and it's sort of a spoof on like 60s, like James Bond kind of deals. There's like a sci-fi element. So my brand new shirt, check this out. Got the Record-ology logo there. And if I turn around here, this will be kind of awkward, but can you see the back? This is our all new Record-ology Halloween 2025 shirt. But you can't buy one. Why? Because we won't let you, because you'll probably won't get them in time. And here's why. The plan was to roll these out. We had put a few posts out there. You may have seen them. But the problem is they were taking too long to arrive. So we ordered this, I think, in August or maybe early September, and it just now got here today. So obviously, that's not the kind of customer service we want for our audience. So we pulled them. Oh, great. Okay, so I didn't know you were going to be here. So our show producer, a.k.a. Rain's Place, a.k.a. my beautiful and lovingly and talented wife, says, I can do that voice. And I'm not going to give them a sample. Only you get that. She hates that. She hates it, which is part of the reason why I love it. Okay, so what are we here to do? We are going to do a record haul. I did go record shopping. I haven't been in quite a while. And by the way, today is Saturday, October 18th. There's the proof if you don't believe me. By the way, I love Garfield. And you can see him up there too. Were you guys page a day calendar people, or are you more of a like a wall monthly calendar? When I grew up, only my rich friend ever had one of these, and I don't know why. I associated this with like being a luxury item because I don't think it costs any. It might even be less than a regular wall calendar. But now I opt for the page a day some years, and this year is a page a day year. Garfield, I love it. But yeah, that is the day. It's 81 degrees currently here in the city, beautiful Orlando, Florida, where we're finally getting some reprieve. I know some places in the country are actually getting cooler temperatures, and the locals here keep trying to tell me that, oh, isn't it great here now? Isn't this just great? The cooler fall temperatures we're having, isn't it nice? Isn't it lovely? It's still hitting 87 some days, so I don't know about that. I don't know. Welcome in, everybody. It's sunny, mid 60s in Manhattan. Oh, that sounds good. I miss the cooler temperatures. It is getting into the 60s at night here, which sounds whatever, but it's actually pretty good. So what's going on with you guys? I'm just glad that you're here. We're going to hang out. Got a couple cool things. Because you joined the live, I'm always going to try and give you a little inside scoop of things that are going on. Scoop may or may not be related to our recent video of Peanut Butter Record. Did you see that? I know you guys did, right? You totally saw it. Probably watched it 2-3 times, shared it out, told a friend. It's rainy. We do get that. We do get a lot of rain. So if you haven't watched the Peanut Butter Record video, check that out. Tell your friends. That was a lot of fun. Speaking of that record, I have it right here. Actually, this is the sleeve, but for a visual, this is the Peanut Butter Record. The actual record, I think, is actually in here too. Yeah, here it is. Actually, I have the record still. Well, of course I have it still. I want to keep this record. And yes, it does faintly smell like peanut butter. But look, pretty good, huh? Now, if you want to see how good this did up close in the sunlight, it looks way better on this shot than it is in real life. You know, it's much better today, though. Don't smell my records very often, but Judy Garland did survive. I have all of these earmarked for a spin clean day, and I just haven't had the energy to do that, so I haven't done it yet. But I will try to do it soon. Hello, Frank, all the way from Germany. Welcome in. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'll try to keep up and we'll get jumped into our program here. Also, I want to let you know, if you haven't heard already, we're going to be going live from somewhere, I'm not sure where, on Halloween night, October 31st. I have to be careful how I said that because in some recent video I was recording, I accidentally said Christmas Eve. No, the Halloween party won't be Christmas Eve. It'll be Halloween. So October 31st, time and date to be determined. But we're going to be giving away the Record-ology record player, one of them, to one lucky viewer over the age of 18. This, whatever this is driving me crazy. It's like a fuzzy that won't stop. 50s in North Dakota. Oh, that sounds even better. Hey, man, it's worth the saving. Take your time. No rush. There'll be plenty of them once you get there. I know that feeling. Absolutely. Okay, so working on a few interesting things. I got a lot of products in for review right now. I've got other things coming soon. We recently partnered with, and I want to be, should I say it? Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we have a verbal agreement to do a show about the new tiny vinyl format, and I hope to be able to do that sooner than later. Tiny vinyl is like a 4-inch version of the 3-inch record format. I just need to do more research. I'm not sure. Apparently it's higher sound quality. They're trying to push it as more of a single format, like a 45 replacement, more so than just a novelty. They'll fit full songs. I think they can be stereo, and they're longer playtime. They're double-sided. So there's definitely some benefits over the 3-inch. But we'll have to see how that plays out. I'm trying to think of what else. Okay, other news. Sneak peek. I am reviewing this beautiful thing right here. This is a very large compact disc player. It's also very heavy. It's made out of aluminum alloy, and that top lid is glass. I don't want to show too much more than that. This, you may be saying, oh, that's a Shanling EC0T. No, it's not. It is the Shanling EC0, but not the T. The T is the version they released earlier this year that has tubes. It says a tube amplifier. I'm not sure exactly how that's implemented. And an in-house R2R DAC that they developed. but it's over $500. So they are coming out with this one. It's not quite out yet, or it's just out somewhere around there. And this is their entry-level model that has an AKM DAC and it has solid-state amplifiers. So it's a budget model. That being said, I'm evaluating it right now. I filmed the unboxing, I think it was yesterday, and I'm just spending time with it now. It's the best sounding CD player I've ever heard. It beats the FIO in terms of portable CD players. I think that the bigger DAC unit, the SMSL transport with the SMSL DO400 DAC with the ESS chip edges it out. This thing is close. This is this one has the AKM chip too. This is the Fozzy Audio ZD3, which I liked better than the ZH3. And this thing has an AKM chip. And I've said before, I'm not a huge AKM fan, but the AKM chip is sounding really, really good in this. It's also got different modes. So you can, make it a warmer sound profile, a cooler sound profile, whatever it is you want. Oops, let me turn it on. Anyway, I've been listening to this thing. It's not very portable because it's like heavy. And if you drop it, the glass will shatter, the metal will bend. They make a case for it. I don't have the case. But if you carry it from room to room, set it down on the desk, and put some good headphones on, it's incredible. It's got a very powerful headphone amplifier in there, and it just sounds incredible. There is a digital out, so you can use it as a standalone DAC. I'll go and show you the back panel. So what do we got here? For inputs, we've got a USB input. We've got the CD player itself as a source. Bluetooth in and out. It also has a balanced and unbalanced input, a SPDIF output, a USB DAC, jack. I'm not sure, how would that work? I guess that'd be in. Would that be in? And then it works as a desktop mode and battery mode. It's also got a balanced and unbalanced headphone jack. All right, that's all you get for the free preview. I'm not sure when that video is going up, but I'll do direct feed sound tests and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. It sounds really good. It beats out just barely my FIO CP13. It's a cassette player. What's the CD player one? Whatever 13 the CD player is, the red one. It's an incredible CD player. It's a lot more affordable. This is still in the $300 range, so it's pretty expensive. But yeah, the 80s sounded pretty good. Yeah, I've got that beautiful, thanks to my friend, Spare Time Repair. This beautiful, beautiful 1986 Sanyo. It's a gorgeous machine, and it sounds really, really good. If you put it and do an A/B test between that and the new Fozzy DAC, which is, the old one is a 16-bit, kind of basically like a ladder DAC, and then the new one is obviously a multi-bit Delta Sigma. The sound is not as strikingly different as you might think. It's subtle. It's still subtle. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about. It's got multi-function buttons, so I have had to keep the manual close by because there's a lot of press this button for 3 seconds to do that and 10 seconds to do this and short click to do that. But you can even rip CDs to MP3 with it and stuff, or to digital. I'm not sure what format it is. Okay, so here's my haul. It's a combination of records and CDs. I'll start with the records. Hey, Eric from Tampa. So we've got the Judy Garland record that I bought mostly for the reasoning of I needed to, hey, welcome in. Oh, Eric, it's you again. He's been a member for 4 months. If you guys want to be as cool as Eric and Brett and other members of the channel, it's only like $1.20 a month to join, and you get exclusive content. You get special member thingies and banners and highlights and things like that, little emojis, all kinds of cool stuff. That's cool, my friend. That's really cool. I've been wanting to get 1 or 2 more Judy Garland records, so this compilation was a good pick. Not only because it was $3 and it was in really good condition when I started, even after the peanut butter, it's in pretty good condition still. I just wanted a burner. You know what I mean? I wanted one to listen to. I don't expect that to be perfect, even for $3 new. All right, so I've been on a bit of a Broadway kick lately, and so I picked up some interesting Broadway titles here. That's going to be kind of the prevailing theme, with 1 or 2 surprises thrown in. So this is Oklahoma. I've known of this for a long time. I've even had the soundtrack, but I'd never seen the show. And then a few nights ago, I jumped on. I don't know if it was Max and or the Amazon Prime thing where you can watch some movies on there. And I finally sat down and watched this over the course of a couple of nights. I was just surprised how kind of weird it was, right? It's surprisingly weird, but in a good way. So this is really cool. I had the CD soundtrack I picked up fairly recently. My wife, being the Broadway child, had the Broadway CD as well. But I've heard Oklahoma. Glenn Miller's Army Band did a really good version of "Oh What a Beautiful Morning," and that's pretty much it. But not knowing the music, not knowing the show up until recently, I hadn't been drawn into it. But I finally saw it, and I really, really liked it. By the way, that is like a 19-year-old Shirley Jones of the Partridge Family fame when she first role. This is 1955. Also, I thought this was interesting is even though this is a Rodgers and Hammerstein title, it's not a MGM musical. It was actually an independent production. And when I was researching it, because I'm obsessive and I have to research everything, I found out that they shot the film twice with two cameras. One was CinemaScope, and then one in what they called Todd AO, which was a groundbreaking 70 millimeter widescreen format. So there's two versions of the movie. Some DVD releases have the CinemaScope version, some have the Todd AO version, and I guess there's like 11 key scenes they were able to shoot at the same time, but everything else, there's slight differences depending on which copy you've got. So this was super cool to pick up. Now, when I paid, I think, I don't know, $7 for this. Does it even say? Yeah, I paid $7 for this. I didn't notice this little orange sticker on here because if I would have realized this is special. You'll notice it's very flimsy and thin. I probably shouldn't bend it that way, but it's a very thin and flimsy sleeve, and it's very glossy too. Those are two telltale signs of something. Can anybody guess? Let me know in the comment below in the chat window, or if you're watching the replay in the comments, what you think that means. Oh, wow. You guys are watching from all over. Thank you so much. John, I'm glad you're here, my friend. Everybody else too. It's the first musical where music advances the plot. It's an integrated musical, so it's not a show within a show. That's true. There were other musicals that did that as well. Most of the Freed Unit MGM musicals were integrated, so like Harvey Girls, 1946, and others, and even Wizard of Oz, 1939, they were integrated as well. Doesn't mean it's cheap. It's not a reproduction. Okay, Chris is getting close. It's a European. Yes, John and Chris. Max thought it was 70s. This is actually an original, I believe. I'd have to double check this. I think this is an original pressing. But this is a UK pressing. The UK pressings were on this glossy, very thin and flimsy. And then if you flip it on the back, you'll see the telltale signs. EMI Records Limited, Hayes, Middlesex, England, and the M-Tex ad, just like the Beatles records. And see that shape of that flap? That's another telltale sign up there as well. Yeah. And then if you look at the actual disc, by the way, I think this shop that I got this from cleans their records, puts them in these nice anti-skate sleeves, or anti-static sleeves. But if you look at you won't be able to read it because of the low resolution of this video, but it says at the bottom, oh no, it says at what does it say? Made by Electric and Musical Industries Limited in Great Britain. It says that actually at the top, right above the Capitol logo. It is British, which is cool. I think that's really cool. Also, my Bob Hope soundtrack. What was that movie that I got that Bob Hope soundtrack recently? That was a UK pressing as well. So I didn't know I was in for all that. I thought it was just going to be a US pressing, but this is great. I love this. The music from the movie musical is absolutely fantastic. What is my computer doing? Okay, that was weird. I just randomly popped up with a window. So that's my first pick. I've listened to it a little bit. It needs to be cleaned, and then I'll give it a deeper listen. If you like that musical, stay tuned because the OCD kicked in, and you'll see what I ended up with. That's cool, dude. Found more cameras. That's awesome. Okay, next up. Ever since we went out to, where was that? It was Rain, if you're still on, put it in the comments. What town did we go to that had the circus museum, the Bailey Circus Museum? I've been kind of keeping an eye out for circus music, and I found the official Barnum and Bailey Brothers Circus Band record. This is super awesome. Check this out. Is that not the coolest thing? High Fidelity Records, T260. Oh, yeah, I try to make a point of giving you catalog numbers for everything we look at. Oklahoma was LCT 6100. And this is T265. Check that out. No, what is that town? She must have gotten bored and left. What is that town? It's not Bradenton. We gotta look it up. This is ChatGPT to the rescue moment. Gibbstown is circus town. Interesting. Merle Evans. According to ChatGPT, the town I'm thinking of is the Ringlings Circus Museum. Oh, it's Sarasota. Okay, yeah, so Sarasota. Ever since we went out to Sarasota, been very, Bradenton is what I was thinking. I said it wrong. But yeah, so that's cool. Capitol release. And it's on this kind of teal Capitol pressing. This thing looks immaculate. So it was saved from whatever child might have gotten a hold of this. This thing is immaculate. Think of kids' records as being, quickly destroyed. T265, that's side 2. Non-breakable. Long playing. Usually if you see long playing, it means it's mono, which is what I would expect for this. I know Decca, every time you see long playing on a Decca, that was what they put on the label instead of stereo. High fidelity mono record. So that'll be fun to listen to. Also needs a trip in the spin clean. Oh man, I kind of put off my. Oh, do you? That's cool. Is it good? Is it fun? Next up, musical land here. This is interesting because it is kind of a crossover to what we were just talking about in a weird way. This is Carousel. This is a beautiful copy. And interesting, I think this was made the year after. I think 56, year after Oklahoma. And it has the same stars, Gordon McRae and Shirley Jones as the lead actors. I love the cover on the back. And Cameron Mitchell, too, I guess. This is a neat one. Wonder when they gave up on full albums on 45. I think once RCA, who owned that, they were the ones that are the proprietors of the 45 format. I wish I had, over there, I've got one of their original 50s colored ones. And I've got some more in here, too. I could dig them out. But once they realized that both 45s and Columbia's LP format were going to coexist, I think they stopped trying to push it as a album format, and it became more of an EP format, single format. Nice, dude. RT82. Awesome. So this is cool. Very colorful. So this is protected from the sun. This is, it says Capitol Stereo, full spectrum. There is, I don't know if you can see it. There's some, like, the camera's not going to show very well. You can see it. These dark brown discoloration. Almost looks like a rust patina to the back of this. So I probably won't be smelling that record. It's got an original inner sleeve advertisement. Caution. I haven't seen this one before. Caution, to give this record a longer playing life, Capitol recommends putting a new needle in. That's usually what they say. Checking your needle, exactly. Duotone. Look at that. I love this stuff. I've done shows about this kind of stuff before. How many records are on this advertisement sleeve that I already have? I've got the I'm a Woman one from Peggy Lee. I've got a lot of Jackie Gleason. I don't know if I have that one. I don't think I've got that. Let's see. You don't want to see all the ones I don't have. Which ones do I have any of these? I guess just that one. Okay, cool. That was a good time spent. It's on a capital rainbow label. Wow, look at that record is very contrasty. Between the run out groove, the leading groove, the lead out groove, and the groove. Smells like an antique store. This is stereo carousel. I haven't listened to this. Got a couple of scratches. Man, the camera's really forgiving. You can see this one over here, but there's a couple more than that. But yeah, I love that one too. Stay tuned for that because I did pick that up. Yeah, definitely want to know what they are. So this also needs to go back to, all of these do. I need to stop saying that because every one of these is going to the spin club. And what I do with these, I'll put this in an anti-static sleeve once it's cleaned. Keep the original one just for history's sake. I'll put that in the sleeve, or I'll put that in the jacket with the other one. Okay, last record I bought, and the rest are going to be compact discs. This is an interesting one. It's very 70s, but this is a 70s MGM. Now, keep in mind, in 74, MGM did the That's Entertainment kind of anthology of their old musicals with segments hosted by stars from that era, Jimmy Stewart and others. And so this is probably issued on the tails of that resurgence of interest. These are apparently a series, looking on the back here, of double soundtrack albums. These are gatefold, and it's got two soundtrack albums. It's a 2-record set. This is Seven Brides, Seven Brothers. I've laughed probably 3 times in my life as hard as I've laughed at a certain scene in that movie. Rosemary, I don't think I've ever seen that. Who is in that? Anne Blythe, Howard Keel. And these are both full-color MGM musicals. On the back, we've got the MGM logo. Anybody know what this means? It's Latin. Ars Gratia Artis. Anybody know what that means? Sort of the motto of MGM. And then you can see at the bottom the other ones that were available, which I'm just now seeing. Oh, some of these had 3. This one you could actually get 3. Singing in the Rain with Easter Parade, Showboat with Annie Get Your Gun, The Pirate. What is the name of that pirate musical that Judy Garland did? Art for Art's Sake, exactly. Which is interesting. Being a student of theology as well, I wonder if that's intended to be that the movies that, okay, we're going deep here for a second. Is the point of Art for Art's Sake to contrast with propaganda filmmaking in that there's no message, good or bad, or is it specifically to distance itself from any sort of, well, it would still be propaganda, any kind of message at all? It's an interesting thought process. Okay, Bandwagon with Kiss Me Kate, Till the Clouds Roll By with Three Little Words. And that one with the Judy Garland also had Pagan Love Song, Hit the Deck, and another one that I can't read. It says it's a limited edition, includes extensive historical notes on original productions, and it's a gatefold. There are the notes, liner notes. These are liner notes. These are the things that, one of the reasons why we love records. There's something to read, pictures to look at, something to own. I'll pull one of these out. They're in their nasty old acid-infused, that's why it's yellowing sleeves. Check out this MGM label. Look at that. Very cool, very cool. Record looks to be in pretty good condition. Look at the modulation. There's only 4 songs on this side of the record. That's a good sign. That means that the modulation is nice and wide. They weren't trying to cram too much music. They actually do this a lot today. It's very popular. You'll notice a lot of records come out now are 2 record sets because they can charge more, even though they could easily fit all the music on 1 record. But they spread it out and put it on 2 records. It's actually good if you are in this for the sound quality, because the wider the modulation, the more space the song takes up on the record's real estate, equates to better sound. So that's actually a desirable thing. The only downside would be it's going to take up more space because it's a thicker record set, because it's a double record set. So then I picked that up as well. Thought that would be really cool. School of Rock. Yeah, I know of it. Yes, I have that one too, Maximilian. That's a great one. Yes. If there's stereo, everybody's going to know it. Oh, really? Double label. That's interesting. The Pirate. Is it the Pirate? I want to say the Pirate of something. But yeah, I think you're right. Interesting finds, my friend. That's cool. Yeah, I've got Singing in the Rain on CD. Oh, that's cool. I love Wizard of Oz. I'm so into it. I've got the double. I'm really, let me show you something as we get into this, but I'm really, looking for a certain variant, a certain type of CD. And then we're going to get into this. I'm going to show it to you in a second. First of all, here is Guys and Dolls. We talked about this. This is the Broadway Gold series from MCA. Oops, dang it. Decca Original Cast Album, Broadway Gold, MCA Classics. These are nice. These are well done. I mean, they've got pictures, good liner notes. Doing a lot of research recently about Broadway official soundtracks and cast recordings, and usually they were recorded in a theater or in a studio, just like a regular album would be. They get the cast together. Sometimes they, alternate people for the cast or whatever, but it's usually recorded in the same studios that a lot of popular music would be. So these Broadway Gold CDs are cool. Obviously, they're gold, and they got this nice blue. It's just a classy look to them. Let's see what year this was. I love this show. I love the Frank Sinatra version, obviously, but this is 1991 issue, it looks like. This is MCA 10301, Guys and Dolls. I've listened to this a little bit. Next up, I'm always on the lookout for classic Disney. Oh, does he? That's interesting. Check that out. Thanks for the tip. Finally found this. This one I've been looking for years. This one never pops up. Now, obviously, you can go on eBay and find it, but some stuff I just want to find in the wild. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could go buy everything on eBay, but I've been looking for this in the wild forever. It just never shows up. I love the music to this. Walt Disney's Peter Pan classic soundtrack series. And of course, because it's Disney, everything is very visual. It's got great liner notes, artwork, and a special offer. Just top of the line. Yeah, great memories, great memories. Let's look at the actual disc itself. By the way, what year is this? This looks like a 1997 issue. This is 60958-7, self-released by Disney. Beautiful deep red disc. Of course, screen printing and everything is top of the line. Even the hub is screen printed to a point. And this is also in nearly immaculate condition. Standard jewel case. I think I paid $3 a piece for these CDs. Next up, another Oklahoma one. This one's really, really cool. Well, first let me do this one. This was my wife's CD. This isn't new, but this is the other one we had, also from the Broadway Gold series. So it's got that same motif on the label, same era, so early 90s. This is from the original, I think, 1943 Broadway production. So we've got cast, notes. There's the picture that they use for a lot of the logos and things. Yeah, it's black and white, but it's liner notes, but it's great. This is really, really cool. And surprising, like if you didn't know that was recorded in 1943, you'd probably be like, really? Because it's really, really good. Yeah, most of this was recorded. This is the Alfred Drake version. Really, really good. So when I was out shopping for music the other day, and like I said, I've been craving some record hunting. Oh, that's good. Well, framing it, you're not going to lose it. Check that out. Isn't that the coolest? I love this. I love the fact that it's a jewel case, but it's got the clear spine. I love that type. And this is the Broadway Musicals series starring Joan Roberts and Alfred Drake. You can see at the top. This is actually from the 1947 Broadway musical Oklahoma, so it's a revival. Now, what's really neat, you're not going to be able to read it, but this side here is actually a series of selections from the UK variant, not the Broadway version. So the same year, 1947, they also appeared in Britain, which is really, really cool. The disc itself is so cool. Look at that. I love the production quality here. Really, this is Prism Leisure Records, the Broadway musicals series. And I'm going to go and put the disc back there. I've listened to this, given it a cursory listen. Liner notes, very nice. Posters, etc. I mean, there's not a lot in here, but what they did do was nice. And it's fun to listen to the version across the pond as well. Holy cow, that is a valuable one. I heard about that, Larry. That's cool. Well, thank you for joining, my friend. I appreciate it. All right. Next up, another Disney title, Cinderella. My wife and I were talking the other day. What's your favorite classic Disney animated movie? And this is mine. I have very, very good memories of watching this. We had the VHS tape, of course, when I was a kid, and just really have positive memories of this. This is a 1996 issue. And I came home after buying this and realized I already owned it. But I owned a different version, so there's totally no reason not to have two copies. I think is this the extended? I don't think this is the extended version. There's what the inside there looks like. Interesting gray-blue screen print on the disc itself. Condition looks perfect. And if we look at the booklet, I'm sure it'll be perfect as well, just because, like I said, Disney's attention to detail on visual stuff is like no other, right? Artwork. Interesting, these pages have kind of a thinner matte finish compared to the other one. Lyrics, very common for Disney to put their lyric sheets. Oh yeah, gotta love the Lion King. That's a great one. I've got that. I may have two versions of that. I've got that. Also, if you've ever been to Disney's Animal Kingdom, they have a show there, a Lion King themed stage show, which is really good. I've got the soundtrack to that as well. All right, here's another one. I've got this on record, on vinyl, but now I've got it on compact disc as well. My Fair Lady with Rex Harrison and Julie Andrews with Stanley Holloway. So this is a super, super cool. This is the stage version. And this is an interesting set of liner notes because it folds out. Something very interesting. My grandfather, oh, that's cool. They give you an alternate cover. I didn't see that. Recorded February 1st, 1959. My grandfather, who was born in 1914, said that this was, and I didn't find this out till fairly recently. My dad said that this was his favorite, the movie version of this was his favorite movie of all time. And I thought that was really cool. It's a Columbia release. That's a mirror finish Columbia disc. So probably pretty early here. What year do we got here? I don't know for sure what year this issue is, but I'm going to guess late 80s, early 90s. Maybe it says on here. This is CK2015. Oops, don't drop it. Don't drop it. I'm so bad about dropping everything. Condition looks good. Yeah, so that'll be good. Yes, they did. They really, really did. Yeah, and he's a great man. He's been gone way too long, unfortunately. But him and I, we were buddies when I was a little kid. We used to walk around the neighborhood. Kindest man you've ever met. My dad used to say to give you the shirt off his back. This is the soundtrack to Sound of Music. I have this on a record as well. And this is a very premium package. This is RCA Victor. And everything about this release is top notch. We've got an image there on the screen print. Look at that. Look at that. Everything is just as it should be. Got the RH Rodgers and Hammerstein logo. Anyway, I think I mentioned it pretty extensively, but when they made the Oklahoma movie, it was an independent production. MGM, I think, was the release studio, but it was produced independently. They formed their own studio. And the reason why is MGM was known for obviously quality, high, top-of-the-line musical production, but they were also known to change things, and Rodgers and Hammerstein didn't like that for that story. And Disney owns, because they bought 20th Century Fox, and the reason why it's 20th Century Fox is there's some lineage from Turner to Warner. No, that wouldn't be right. How did Disney end up with it? I know they got it through their Fox acquisition. They've got it through the 20th Century Fox acquisition, and then they got possession of both films. They're both in their Hollywood, in their California vaults. They have all the stems, the audio recordings, both versions of the film. But if you want, they don't have the rights to the show. So if you want to put on a new Oklahoma, you've got to go through the Rodgers and Hammerstein organizational, whoever's handling it now. But Disney could re-release it at any time. Oh, I bet that's incredible in a movie theater. I would love to. I love those TV plays. I've got a great. There's a Bing Crosby one called High Tour. I've got the record to that as well. I love those TV plays. Those are great. That's true. You're right. She got the Sound of Music, and then and then also I think Disney saw her in My Fair Lady, and that was one of his deciding factors. Actually, he didn't discover it was Sherman Brothers. They saw her in that, or maybe Disney saw her too, and they all decided she'd be great for Mary Poppins, of course. Anyway, so here's Sound of Music. Julie Andrews, of course. The booklet is just incredible. Nice matte finish pamphlet here. Lots of tinted pictures. Kind of a cool effect. Really, really good stuff. I've seen that on the stage, and I've also seen the movie years ago. I need to see it again. Yeah, Turner bought MGM pre-1980, I think, and then sold it to Warner Brothers, and then Warner Brothers merged. Hey, thank you, George. I appreciate it. The hills are alive. Amazon has MGM now. I think that's a release deal, because I think Warner still owns it, don't they? I gotta find out. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was still on Warner. Maybe Amazon owns Warner. $8.45 billion in 2021. That's weird. That is weird. That's really weird. Anyway, that's another title I got. I also picked up, this is the movie soundtrack on Broadway Angel. If that sounds familiar, that's the same label that the That's Entertainment 3 soundtrack was issued on. Broadway Angel. Rivals Turner/Rhino for quality. But this is a great, I wanted to have the CD version of this as well. Just buying all these versions. I've got enough versions of this now that I should really do a show about. It's like getting up there with all the versions. Look at this. They even got the picture of the 45 albums that we were talking about that. I need to do a show about all the versions of this I have. It's getting up there with as many copies as I have of White Christmas, including down here. I've got this. I've had this for some time. This is the soundtrack on Decca Records of the Broadway 1943 edition. Yeah, picked this up. I don't know when and where, a few years ago. Yeah, picked that up recently. So, and I've got it on cassette, which I got in Denver when we were in Denver a few months ago. So if I had the 8-track, I think I'd have every format. Okay, next up. This is the one I had before. If you're like, what? What do you? Didn't you just show that? So this is the non-expanded edition on Angel Records. This is the expanded edition. So this has 22 tracks versus 12 of the original. It's also on this very nifty gray. And I love this. They have the original like roadside billboard ad printed in there. But you will not see MGM, Fox, anywhere on there. It was an independent movie. This liner notes are, if not the dream sequence, by the way, it was like, once I got to the dream sequence, I was like, wow, this movie is a lot different than I thought it would be. But this has great liner notes, pictures, all that good stuff. Good movie. Very good movie. You might say I like it. I picked this up maybe a month or two ago, knowing because I was collecting soundtracks, knowing that eventually I would watch it and really love it. And sure enough, there we go. Is that enough of the? Yes, we're done. We're finally done with Oklahoma. But I got one more CD to show you. I picked this up recent. I don't know if I showed you guys this one or not, but I did pick up the Showboat one. Now, this is a great talking point. This is a great one to finish on. What is this doing here? Oh, yeah, I stole the case from this to fix another one because it was gunked up. There was a magical and wonderful and glorious thing. Billy Joel, Volume 3, 156 bucks? Wow. See, Larry, was it a lobby card or was it, I think, based on the, wouldn't it be a lobby card be more vertical? I guess it could have been a lobby card. I was thinking that was more like the poster, like the roadside sign. Okay, if you like musicals, if you like soundtracks, if you like movies, listen up because we're going to talk about something that I've been obsessively researching at night. I'll sit up there, I'll sit in bed awake at night for hours with ChatGPT, just researching. Oh, really? Okay, well then maybe it was a lobby card. Yeah, it is a great musical. I've only seen clips of it, but from what I could tell, what I've listened to so far, I'm very blown away with it. But there was a renaissance. So when Ted Turner bought the pre-1980 MGM library, he bought it, I think, 1988 or so. He hired a guy, and I can look on this because his name is on every one of these releases. He hired a guy, multiple people actually, to totally revamp all of the audio stems, the visuals, and re-release all of these musicals as heritage pieces, which they deserve. And the one name you are going to see on every one of these CDs is not on here. Oh, yeah, here it is. George Feltenstein. And there were others. I'm not talking about, hey, Music Junkie, welcome in. I'm not talking about colorizing the black and white film. This isn't that. I'm not talking about colorizing. This is quite the opposite. Ted Turner set out to restore to their original glory in the most articulate way possible through the use of a team of researchers and historians and preservationists, set out the biggest, most prolific and successful and wide scope project ever to be undertaken to restore classic films. And a part of that was releasing CDs that were the best soundtrack versions of things ever to be released. And this is part of that. So how do you tell these apart from other soundtracks? One of the telltale signs is this chevron at the top. See that? It kind of looks like a bar that goes all the way across, but it actually dips down in the middle. It's a very gradual chevron. It says original motion picture soundtrack. And some of them say original motion picture anthology, but they will say something to that effect. Obviously, it's MGM, although there are others, I believe, as well. And these booklets are super thick. Another telltale sign is you look on the back and you're going to see the Turner Classic Movies logo. Sorry, it's the camera can't pick it up, the resolution. And then right below it, Rhino. They partnered with Rhino to release the best soundtrack albums ever to be released, ever in the history of soundtrack albums, before or since. This effort is long gone. George Feltenstein is still around. I think he's associated with like Soundtrack of the Monthly or whatever, and there's some other efforts to do like low volume production. But there was this golden era in the mid to late 90s where mass market CDs were being bought by everybody. So lower interest projects that, this isn't going to be like selling as many copies as Nevermind or something like that. You know what I mean? It never would. But because there was so much going on in CDs, there was enough, a piece of the pie could be made to still fund projects like restoring classic musicals. There was still enough. Nowadays, there's no way. CDs are such a boutique item now that, yet they still find a way to sell them. But you're not going to have a project funded, a multi-million-dollar project like this. But anyway, all that to say, these are the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. You'll never hear better sound quality. You'll never see better liner notes. Everything is just top of the line. There's a screen printed disc itself. It's in some pretty good condition. There's some water damage to this. It's a little bit rippled, but you read about how they did this, all the work that went into this, and you'll just be blown away. The reading of all this, these booklets, this is a thick booklet, and there's a reason why a lot of us love our physical media for things like that. You're not going to get this in a download. Yes, you can go on Apple Music and listen to this in streaming, I'm sure, but you're not going to hear it like this. Full, uncompressed, lossless compression, digital audio, and you have this in your hands, and you've got the best version out there. And they would restore these stems as they would pull them out of storage. They would restore them, they would clean them, they would digitize them. Most of this stuff in the 90s was digitized at 24-bit, 48K. It was just sort of this industry standard at the time. Still, plenty of headroom for compact disc releases. You put that baby in, CD player, and sit back and be entertained. It'll just blow your mind. I want to show you a couple others too. Hold on. They're across the room. Okay, got a couple of things here. Thanks for hanging on with me. Appreciate it. Only lost a couple of people. You ever watch somebody's live and they just disappear? They're like, I'm going to go to the bathroom or something. I don't do that. Okay, by the way, since I was over there, I grabbed this. This is the cassette version to Oklahoma I bought. This is my favorite artwork version. This was a special version that came with the VHS tape that was not available unless you did it that way. This is not a version you can just buy by itself. Okay, a couple more of these heritage recordings by Rhino and Turner. Motion Picture Soundtrack Anthology. That means that this is a compilation. And when I bought this, I'm like, oh, it's a CD version of That's Entertainment. Because like somebody else mentioned, I've got the vinyl version as well. So I'm like, this is a CD version. No, it's not. This is actually a compilation of the That's Entertainment box set that Rhino and Turner issued around 95. 6-disc set. It's been reissued a couple of times. And they made a 3-disc version that was cheaper because the original one was like over $50 back in 95. They made a 3-disc version, and then they made this 1-disc version. This is actually the compilation of all three, That's Entertainment 1, 2, and 3, put in a disc form. There actually was no standalone CD for That's Entertainment Part 1, and I don't think one for Part 2 as well. But look at this. See the lineage in terms of the look of that screen printed disc? Different colors per se, but the same look, the same feel. Look at all this. Look at all of this. This is just a treasure. Just a treasure. And the booklet, again, is thick. It's got a lot of stuff in here. The history of so much of these songs. It tells you about the song, the story behind it. And I care about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I actually want to know. I don't just want to listen only. I want to know. My wife will tell you I can't just watch a movie and move on with my life. I have to do something else about it. This disc is not as pristine. It's got some scuffing. Yes, I did, Larry. I actually have your order ready to ship. I need to print out the labels and drop it off within the next day or so. But thank you for your order. I appreciate you so much. You've been such a great supporter of the channel. And I think you've bought every set. So the latest version is coming away. And like I said, everybody that buys an adapter this month will get a extra bonus adapter. So I'm throwing a couple bonus adapters in each order as well. Thank you for that. Yeah, a music junkie. I agree. And it's a bummer because once the sale to Warner Brothers happened, it's like the whole synergy. And I think that's when the project, 2002-ish, kind of died off, which was a bummer. This is probably my #1 piece from that set. They did one very similar for a couple other projects, including a Judy Garland. But this is one of their double disc anthologies. As you can see that same chevron up there at the top. This one says original motion picture soundtrack because it's only from one movie. And this is a double disc soundtrack to Wizard of Oz. This has every piece of recorded audio that they could dig up at the time. All of it recorded with that same quality, with a stamp of approval by Turner and Rhino. And it comes with a legit book. I mean, this is more than just a booklet. This is an actual book. As you can see here, I mean, there's just so much detail here, pictures, and it's an incredible release. I'm thankful to have this. When I found this, I've always been a Wizard of Oz fan. When I found this, I was so blown away. It was expensive. I was working fast food at the time. It was an investment. Discs are still in relatively good condition. And you know what's weird is at some point in time, I digitized these and thought I would never pick up the discs again, thinking, oh, it's cool. I can have my Wizard of Oz soundtrack digitally and I don't have to worry about the discs. And now I'm so grateful that I have the discs because there's no soul in a digital download. There's just no, like, you can have every song ever made if it's digitally, you know, and I say digital, I'm talking about like, you know, an MP3 file, you know, saved off somewhere, not a digital physical media. It's just like there's no joy in that. There's joy in the sense that I can listen to it anywhere. I can take it anywhere. I can have instant access to it. But there's something missing about not having some physical form of it. And I'm so glad I held on to my CDs. And yeah. The Criterion Blu-ray, The Wiz. My wife loves The Wiz. I don't know if I have the Criterion one. No, I only have one Criterion Blu-ray, and it's Hard Day's Night. I don't have any other Criterion ones. I've got the Blu-ray that they did in 2015. No, it was a 20. No, it would have been, what year was that? It would have been about 20. It was one of the anniversaries, so it would have been 14. Was it 2014? Yes, I think I've got the 2014 Blu-ray release. And would I love to see it at the Sphere? Yes. Am I going to? No. It's very expensive. But yeah. Oh, this is a great set. If you're a Wizard of Oz fan, This is great. I also love the single disc version as well, but this is great. It's got so much stuff. The big thing here was the jitterbug. You got to hear the jitterbug. Now jitterbug's included in most soundtracks. Yeah, the Beatles box set, the USB edition. I mean, would I still want that? I still love digital music. I have a lot of digital. I say digital, I'm talking MP3s and stuff. The one thing I don't do in terms of digital files is lossless, which is weird. But I don't make a lot of FLAC files, ALAC files, high res audio, digital file only versions of stuff. Typically, if I'm ripping a CD or a record, it's for space constraints and for portability. So I usually rip it to 128 MP3, which sounds crazy, but on my DAP, as the kids are calling them now, can't call it an MP3 player because it plays so much more than just an MP3. But on my JM21 by FIO, love that thing, digital audio player, my DAP, which has all that movie audio to movies I own. Thank you very much. And old time radio and ambient recordings that I made. The sound quality isn't as big of a deal because I'm usually sleep headphones. I'm falling asleep listening to this stuff, and I can cram thousands of things in there. I still love that. I'm not saying that, but in a different world of listening, you just can't beat physical media. I don't need to tell you guys that. I'm preaching to the choir here on that. Oh, really? That's cool. That is a bargain. I'll have to keep that in mind. I don't know when I do know when the last DVD or Blu-ray I bought. I bought the Goonies on DVD used for like $4. I bought the On the Road box set, which has 4 out of the 7 Road movies. And then when I got Goonies, I also got a DVD of Home Alone and a Blu-ray of Home Alone 2 because I didn't have copies of that either. For movies that I love, I want to have a physical copy. I just like to own it. My favorite TV show of all time, Home Improvement. The reason why I'm looking over here is I've got some stuff stored on that shelf. Home Improvement, I have to have a copy. Star Wars, Star Trek, Back to the Future. I even have the Back to the Future animated series. The Hey Dude series from the late 80s, early 90s. Some of my favorite classic movies. White Christmas, of course. I just love that stuff. Titanic, I love Titanic. I like the Charlie Brown Christmas and stuff. I just love that stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz, they do like a new one every 5 years. And it's like, what are they going to do now? Like I said, the last one I had was a 4K. No, it wasn't. It was a 1080p. So it was a Blu-ray. I don't have a UHD player. My TV does 4K, but usually we just watch streaming on there, which I think can hit 4K sometimes. But I actually don't have like this big home theater setup. I just have a TV. I did recently put in speakers, but mostly for music because I got the CD transport and DAC in there. Yeah, I don't mind DVD at all. I've got a handful of VHS too. I still have a VHS VCR. I love it when people call them VHS players. But yeah, DVDs, Blu-rays, and streaming. I love all that stuff. All right. I got to go somewhere. So I'm going to cut this shortly. And I want to say I appreciate you guys so much. Andy says, what is your favorite record player that you've ever reviewed? What? How can you? That's a lot of pressure, Andy. Yeah, I only have stereo as well, or 2.1 for watching movies, but only since recently. Before that, audio I was getting was the audio came in the speakers or the built-in TV speakers. I didn't even have a sound bar. And then when I hooked up my Fluence. Is the Fluence I used to have in here. I have the AI 61s in here now, and I took the AI 41s, which are the 5-inch version, put them in there with the Victrola V1 subwoofer, and I was like, oh, this is what I was missing. Comparing it to the TV audio, it's like night and day, dude. And it's not about, yes, it is big and boomy if you want it to be, but what I really love is the clarity. It's just so crisp. All right, Andy, I'm not going to ignore your question. My favorite record player I've ever reviewed of all time. Oh, I've reviewed so many. I've been so blessed and lucky to be able to do that. Um, it changes because I often discover a new favorite. So the more accurate question is like, what are my favorites right now? I'm really enjoying the Sony LX310 BT, I think it's called, automatic. I love the LP60. I've got my LP Go, which is the Walmart exclusive version of the LP60 right here. It's small. It fits in this tiny little space, and I do prefer it. I've decided over the LP70. This is probably, if I had to pick one record player that's been my favorite record player of all, and I've done a video calling this my forever turntable. It would probably be this Technics SLB5 from like 1981, 82. It's a 5-disc changer, 6-disc changer, excuse me. And you can set it for 10-inch, 12-inch, 7-inch. It also works as a manual turntable. It's belt driven. It's got a DC servo lock, and it's just a incredible. Oh, and the RT81 is great too. I've had the 85. I sold that. I have still the 81 Plus, which I do love. It's the same thing as the 81. It just has foam on the inside of the platter and an acrylic slit mat on the top. And it's a beautiful turntable. I got the walnut one, but you know what I did to it? I was using a carbon fiber brush that was too rigid to dust the actual plinth, and I scratched it. And that my OCD won't allow me to enjoy it as much as I should now, because if you catch it in the right light, you have to have the very bright light hitting at the right angle. You can see these faint scratches that just drive me nuts. Absolutely. So yeah, you basically turned yours into an 81 Plus. That's cool. Have you seen the new video from Spare Time Repair about the vertical player? Yeah, that was cool, Maximilian. That was a cool one. I did watch that. Glow in the dark green one. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool. Hey, Michelle, welcome in. That is really cool. Top 3, Larry says. Yeah, I'd say those are my top 3 right now. Love the 81 Plus. For portables, ironically, I'm really loving the Victrola Respin. Even though it's got a ceramic, I upgraded it to a flip cartridge. It's a little bit better than the CZ800 clone that was on there, but I just love that little thing. I know it's a little plastic mono unit, but it's cool. It's fun. I love it. I love you guys so much. You are awesome. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're joining just now, I would encourage you to go back and watch the replay. I'll post it if you would like to. We've got other shows coming your way. Again, if you joined since I mentioned it, I'm in the process of reviewing this. This is the new non-tube version that they're about to release of the EC0T. This is the EC0 AKM. And that thing is a beast. It weighs about 900 pounds. It's all metal alloy and glass, and it's huge. It's a lot bigger than it even looks like. Let me put up an actual CD. It's bigger than a CD case. Like, it's a large device, very heavy, technically a portable, but I wouldn't want to carry that around very much. It sounds incredible. That may or may not be the next show. Yeah, Old Radios, you got some adapters too. That's awesome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. God bless you guys, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great night.